Hello students! In our previous videos, we learned about single covalent bond formation in simple molecules like hydrogen and chlorine. We know that if one pair of electrons is shared by two atoms, they form a single covalent bond. But what if two pairs of electrons are shared? If two pairs of electrons are shared between them, then they will form a double covalent bond. But what if atoms share three pairs of electrons? Yes, in this case, a triple covalent bond gets formed between these two atoms. So let's understand double covalent bond formation by the example of an oxygen atom. As you know, the atomic number of oxygen is 8. This means that it has two electrons arranged in its first orbit, K, and second orbit L will have 6 electrons. That is, oxygen's electronic configuration is 2,6. If you observe that this L orbit is the outermost orbit here, which becomes the valence orbit for oxygen, and these 6 electrons are valence electrons. Thus, oxygen atom needs 2 more electrons to complete the octet and become stable. So this oxygen atom shares 2 valence electrons with other oxygen atom. This forms a covalent bond between oxygen atoms, resulting in the formation of oxygen molecule O2. Its electron dot structure is this. Here O is the atomic symbol of oxygen, and these 6 dots and 6 crosses are valence electrons of each atom. Now, as we know, oxygen needs 2 electrons to become stable. So, this oxygen atom shares its 2 electrons with another oxygen atom, that is this, and vice versa. Thus, 4 electrons are shared between 2 atoms. Or we can say that here 2 pairs are shared. And this results in the formation of 2 covalent bonds. Now, why so? As you know, the formation of one covalent bond requires sharing of one pair, that is 2 electrons. And since here there are 2 pairs, that is 4 electrons, that are being shared, so they will form 2 covalent bonds between these 2 atoms. And this is what we call a double covalent bond. It is represented by 2 dashes between 2 oxygen atoms. That is O, double bond O. Students, you can note here that we have represented valence electron in sets of 2 or pairs, but this is not compulsory. Sometimes we can denote them as a single, just like hydrogen, or sometimes in triplets like that of nitrogen. It depends on which kind of element is taking part. So this is the double covalent bond formation in oxygen molecule. Now let's understand the formation of triple covalent bond. For this, let us take an example of a nitrogen molecule, N2. The atomic number of nitrogen is 7. So what will be its electronic configuration? Yes, 2, 5. It has 2 electrons arranged in its first orbit, K, and 5 electrons in the second orbit, L, which is also the valence orbit for it. And therefore, nitrogen has 5 valence electrons. Now, nitrogen needs 3 other electrons to complete its octet and become stable. So, let us know how the nitrogen atom does that. Now, let us bring another nitrogen atom here. This atom also requires 3 electrons. So both these atoms share their 3 electrons and form a covalent bond. And what kind of bond is this? Correct, a triple covalent bond. This is because 3 pairs of electrons are shared. Again, the Lewis structure for this can be made as you can see here. N is the symbol of 2 nitrogen atoms that form a bond. The valence electron for one atom are drawn with dots and for other with crosses. As there are 5 valence electrons in nitrogen, we group them into 2 and 3. The reason for taking 3 here is each nitrogen shares 3 electrons with the other nitrogen. So we keep these 3 together and remaining 2 are paired separately. We can also draw 2 electrons on one side and 1 on the other side, depending on how bond is formed. So here nitrogen atoms share 3 pairs of electrons. We can say that they form 3 covalent bonds or triple covalent bond. Thus, there are 3 types of covalent bonds: single covalent bond, double covalent bond, and triple covalent bond. We learnt about covalent bonds and their types through simple molecules. Also far, we learnt about covalent bonds and their types through simple molecules. Now what about the double and triple bonds formed by carbon? Formed by complex molecules which have carbon. We will see them in our next video.